Hello.
Hey,
How's everything today?
I'm good. Yeah, my we're trying to figure out my medicine. Like I'm doing fine. Trying to figure
Okay.
out medicine, but like the my CBD edibles aren't really working.
No.
I've been just kind of drinking just to go to
Okay.
bed. And yeah, I've been doing good. Just
Okay. And are you trying to look for something in place of the edibles? Like,
yeah, basically.
okay. No, I don't really know what would be a good alternative, but yeah.
hmm But yeah, like I'm doing fine. Just just gonna drink a little bit till we figure out what to do.
Okay.
Mhm. How you doing?
Doing all right. With yeah, I just decided to get a little bit of food beforehand. So yeah, since I didn't know what would happen tonight, so sorry it took a little longer.
That's okay. What'd you have?
Just a little bit of burrito from El Cometa.
Well,
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like quesadilla with a ton of steak bits. So it's really good.
quesadilla. Quesadilla.
I was
Oh,
thinking of
hey, Bobby, we're gonna get quesadillas from Taco Cabana.
that was a good Hank, but I was thinking of Napoleon Dynamite's mother. Make yourself a damn quesadilla when she's just shouting at him in the other room. Idiots.
Thank you very much. I have been uh complimented on my Hank Hill. One guy said that the funniest name to say in Hank Hill's voice is Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato's a conspiracy implanted by the government. It's a government psyop.
Man.
I think she looks pretty.
See, we made the show. We're just as good as them.
We don't need Mike Judge.
We don't need, yeah, we don't need much judge. Yeah, enough
And
assing around.
here's my cat. Uh, I don't know if she wants to be the honorary Bobby. That cat ain't right. I don't know if she wants to be Bobby.
Okay. So you want to start right now?
Yeah, are we gonna do a bit of clips this time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, since this one I kind of had to rush between Comic-Con and work and all that.
Okay.
So I will say just one thing is I really enjoy just Frank and Trace just kind of giving their own answer to the setup from each short.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I always like their short collections.
Mm-hmm.
and they do them frequently, like every
Mm-hmm. Like every 3 months.
yeah, like every 3 or 4 months. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. We're potting riff
Rifftrax.
tracks. Speak of- Yes, it's potting riff tracks. We're back, and this episode is the Man's Night of Shorts 15. Now, I really like the Night of Shorts. Um,
They're a favorite.
hold on,
I
hold
know
on,
I
hold on,
feel
hold on, hold on, hold on. I didn't. I need to do that again. Okay, okay. We're potting riff tracks.
Rifftrax.
Yes, potting riff tracks. We're back, and this episode we will be looking at the Mads Are Back Night of Shorts 15. Now, like I was telling you before the episode, I love the Night of Shorts. They're always so fun for me. And quite frankly, how do you partake in these? Do you watch them live? Do you watch the recordings? Like, how do you?
It's a little strange. Because just mostly due to some life changes on my end. I used to absolutely love watching them live. And then just, life got busy, life got, all these other things. And so
Of course.
I thought to myself, "Oh, I'll just watch the recording." And it's never quite the same. Live, I think, is the best way to watch it, for all their technical difficulties, an hour trying to fix whatever vampire movie they're trying to watch. Uh,
Hmm.
but there's something fun about the live. There's so much different ways to communicate with others if you wish. You could comment on the YouTube stream. You can comment on the Discord, on
Oh, yeah.
Facebook. It just a good, nice community.
I mean, they're I'm fans of a lot of different artists, a lot of different entertainers. Some of them have really bad communities, some have really good fan communities. The Mads have great fans. I will give them
Mhm.
that. It is such a neat, nice, supportive group. Their Discord is so nice. Emmy Martian, she's great. Her Anyone who doesn't watch her Wednesday watch alongs, you need to. Like, if you have a free Wednesday night, do that. Like, it's really good programming on Dumb Industries, and this isn't just us, like, advertising. This is shit. What we think.
Mhm. And yeah, I just love how positive and the community is. There's no such thing as stupid questions or stupid things. You get these genuine, sincere responses, which is a little surprising, just given the whole Mads are probably a step, just a little step more mature than like mature content wise, and from like Rifftrax or MST3K with how they go about their jokes and how
I
they're
think
not that much more mature, just like a little step up.
I think they're more biting, if that makes
Yes.
any
Hmm.
like with MST has always been so cuddly.
Hmm.
Riff Tracks is like more snide. You have, Mike at the helm, kind of like, you get some of the meaner jokes, but
Hmm.
it's like it's
But
usually good fun.
yeah, it's a good fun. But these ones, especially when Frank gets a riff in, they can be, they're
Oh
very
yeah.
political, they're very biting, and yeah, they clearly punch at people. I would say they punch up, but they punch.
Oh yeah. Now, just let me. We'll go through the episode right now. Hold on, just let me get the. For those of you who don't know, we also make videos of this. If you're listening on a podcast service, we also make videos of this on the and we post it uh on the YouTube site, Jeems. Yeah, Jeems 84, I believe. Okay. Okay. No, for one thing, I love the pre-shows. That to me, I'm like a pre-show nut. Um, some of the movies I see on this are so interesting. Stuff even I haven't heard of, and stuff that I'm just think like be good fodder for manglers.
Yeah. And I also enjoy that like at Alamo Draft House screenings, which I'm imagining is where they're kind of since I think they've reported their love of Alamo.
Oh yeah.
They do like that whole setup. So I'm really happy when they do that. Either the Mads or Alamo.
hmm I remember seeing them at our local Alamo Draft House in El Paso.
And I
Uh,
will forever kick myself for missing them.
it was a good show. They did Glen or Glenda and the Tingler.
I will forever kick myself for missing that. Those are probably two of the best Mads movies they've done,
hmm
at least off the top of my head. But they've really found their own with these Nights of Shorts, and we get some other fun ones.
We do. So it starts out with holidays your neighbors celebrate. Another coronet thing. Uh, just it's essentially an early multicultural educational short film. Like it may seem weird for young people nowadays, but there was a time when the world seemed very separated from each other. Places in the world seemed very separated from each other. And learning about stuff about like Japan or England was actually pretty cool and pretty novel. Yeah, we have
And
this
then
short
here,
here. Yeah, we have this short here.
here we even see like the little Chinese New
hmm
Year with the dragon lion dancers there, and then we get a few remarks when it comes to Christmas a little later.
hmm Here we
I don't
are.
know. I forever love that the holiday that kids most look forward to, Bluey Day.
I like that. This was Hanukkah, St. Patrick's Day with this wonderful Keystone Cop type guy.
hmm And then just making all the jokes of all the ethnic stereotypes with Trace being one quarter offended by some of these remarks.
And I love this. Lincoln's birthday, Robert E. Lee's birthday, fuck you. Martin Luther King, back to the cool guys.
He would have liked to own uh Robert Ely would have liked to own him. That was another biting mark from Frank.
Yep. Easter Sunday. I love some of the people are dressed in these. The very Amy Sedaris-esque uh teacher we have in this
Yeah,
short.
around the Christmas time, they show that teacher. Ah, yes, and then we're doing the piñata. What was it? Frank says the uh, Jim Henson's January 6th babies.
hmm
They start to ride over the busted pinata that we're just about to see burst on screen,
Yeah.
bisected just like Darth Maul, probably just as alive.
I remember when I was a little kid, I was like maybe 6 inches shorter than I am right now. Like I was always freak tall. Uh,
Hmm.
I once uh made a pinata explode. Just like Fist of the North Star explode. Like this, it was beautiful. I was a hero.
That sounds perfect. And then they move on to a Three Kings Day celebration,
Hmm.
where it's like the Tooth Fairy, but way cooler as presents start to emerge.
We have yeah, Hanukkah.
Little Hanukkah. And then Trump trying to outlaw all of these,
Uh, I
according to
I
Frank.
I think I think Trump might try to outlaw this guy. Seems a little festive for Trump's taste. But
Anything that isn't serving a Big Mac is outside of Trump's taste.
we have our next short, Your Children and You. You, your
And this
children, yourself and you.
and this is definitely the longest one. It's this British short on just child rearing from basically being a newborn to just being this toddler type.
In a
So
little,
it's interesting.
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So it's interesting just to see how in depth it can be um, for such a it's still a short. It's the longest of the shorts here, but it manages to pack a lot in.
I find it, I think it's interesting, the British, these British shorts because they're so distinctly British. There's a taciturness. There's a kind of briskness
Mhm.
that you don't see in American shorts. There's an honesty and a roughness that you kind of
Mhm.
don't see.
Which I'm sure any German listeners just absolutely laughing at. Just cow. But compared to American, we're completely saccharine. We'll absolutely give you the sweet things about, well, what about the stork? And they actually bring up the stork as an uncomfortable question that the kid may bring up.
Mm,
And they're telling to, be honest and don't act surprised. Just that he wants
yeah.
to know how people come about. And yeah, there is that. There's also sort of a dryness that I think also can be very humorous as we see with Trace and Frank just pulling at that.
Yeah. There's also
Like,
there's one thing, not to get too personal, there's one thing my grandnephew, um we've someone in our family is pregnant, and when we explained it to him, he he said if we have like the kind of sonogram wand, and he
mhm.
puts it on his tummy, so he says, "I have a baby in me too," and it's really cute, and it really, I see that and I really understand. You don't really, there's so much worry in explaining things to your kids. And it's like you kind of don't need to, like they're kids. It's shit is just as it is. And
Mhm.
I think that's, an interesting thing to look at it. Not to get too,
I feel
uh,
on that note, this short does a good job in terms of showing that. shit is what it is until it isn't when, you start kind of asking questions, you start wanting to explore, you start getting more curious about the world and start developing as a human being. And it's kind of nice to see that, even though we do see kind of the that stiff upper lip parenting where, oh, we're going to go throw Granny in the rubbish bin for spoiling our child, as I believe Trace says a little later. But
And
just
this
different
right
things, little
here,
conflicts.
back where you used to live. That's
So and where they're showing the baby on the stroller looking at his mom,
Mhm.
just back where you used to live.
Yeah, babies are nice. And England is nice sometimes.
Try telling that to a lot of countries, ours included. But
I said
I agree.
I
I
said
agree.
sometimes. I said sometimes.
Sometimes they have great sweets.
Yeah, just the as I said, the Britishness is so it's like when you watch the Pylon short on
Hmm.
Rifftrax, it's like it just how you can tell a British one, you can tell an Australian one, you can tell a Canadian one. There's just
There's a certain.
the cultural sensibilities are all throughout all of these, and I
Hmm.
think that's really interesting.
So we
Everyone
see five. Yes.
everyone looks very British. Like, look at this fucker.
So here we're seeing someone just probably chewing down some sort of beef dish, as I
It looks like beef.
assume. He's got his cravat. He's got his nice suit jacket and a nice watch. So yeah, very stereotypical England. And even the disheveledness, with which he wears them. It's not perfectly fitting. He's got it a little loose.
All of their food just looks like beef and other beef. Podcast
I feel
listeners.
this I feel this is a bad time to bring up that I need to manage my triglyceride level with all the beef and beef. But beef is good. I can see where the appeal comes from.
I definitely get enough beef. And that's not innuendo. I mean, like, I eat a probably unhealthy amount of burgers. I'm kidding. I eat well. I'm eating better. Eating a lot better.
And then I like that they're actually just letting kids be kids. Like, hey, we saw the kid leave a track of mud, and just, hey, don't kick up so much of a fuss when they do. Those kids need to enjoy and explore.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I thought that was refreshing for such a fairly stiff rundown of kids.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Here we have she's learning gender norms.
Hmm.
Or maybe that's a young Eddie Izzard. I don't know. Okay, this wasn't great. The Native American headdress.
Yeah.
Messing with turkeys is also not great.
Uh-huh.
Man, Jesus. Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
there's Granny.
we just came upon Granny and a knife, not in the same. They're they're in the same room, but Granny doesn't have a knife. It's a whole thing.
Granny's a whole Granny's grown up on the London streets. So she's arming him with a little knife.
Oh, she's one of the renegade nans. They're gonna have a man turf war.
I kind of forgot what were they talking about during the fear segments.
I think just like the shadows, basically.
Just getting irrational fears from common everyday things.
And then so I'm gonna I say I'm gonna cut them off. When he yeah, when he's joking with the scissors, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, understandably a kid might not know like, oh, my dad's not gonna really cut my fingers off if I keep biting my fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
But like at a young age, it's like, oh shit,
You
like
internalize that. You
yeah,
internalize that. Oh, my father's Freddy Krueger, and I must live in constant fear
it's
that
just
I will be
yeah, it just becomes a whole
his next
thing.
victim. Mm.
Very long. We there's a lot to this, and this makes me want to watch old British stuff like Quatermass. You know,
That
some of
could be fun.
some of the black and white Hammer.
My go-to would be Doctor Who, and I don't know. I was thinking of with fuck Robert E. Lee, that strange obsession with the American Civil War with one episode.
Really,
Yeah, like it did go into states' rights to do what, but yeah, it was one of the major battles that these aliens decided were had to be studied and analyzed.
this is the potty training bit, and uh, one of the things is the mom puts the potty behind the sofa, so the kid can get to it. And I think to myself, yeah, but when I take a shit in the living room, it's a problem. Everyone's upset.
It's a double standard. We shouldn't have to face these double standards. I kind of want to have a Tommy Wiseau setup where I have a bathroom in the middle of whatever living space I'm at,
Hmm.
and no one's allowed to go in it except for me.
And he's putting away his books, the Beano, the Dandy, the Geezer, the Topper, bit of 2000 AD, maybe some Warrior.
He has a TV magazine. He's got, what else would he have?
Right now, if they're listening, I just made a British expat climax by saying all those so close to each other.
Uh.
Made a British comic fan climax.
And we didn't even bring up Judge Dredd. Well, no, you did. You did.
Alan Moore's lying back with a cigarette.
Was that good for you?
Oh yeah, we have more Britishness. Just
And
stop with the
then just stacking the teacups like some sort of sitcom routine.
yeah.
Like this is a very, very long short. Like it takes up the rest of them are just about 10 minutes apiece, so this one's about half an hour.
Hmm.
So just by virtue of them being shorts, it just feels so long. But it never got boring, weirdly enough.
No, it doesn't. There's
We've seen the Mads do some boring ones about like let's say typewriters and being a secretary,
oh, I
but
love the typewriter and secretary ones.
oh yeah.
No, I'm
But
not kidding, I do.
once you get the rhythm of it, I personally find it a little like dull, but here we didn't really get too much of that dullness. We did get a few Monty Python references, but
Which is always
it
good.
never got dull.
And we get the Walt Disney looking his parents were Walt Disney and Burnett Jane Horrocks. And remember to listen to the Green Cross Code Man. That made it that made another British nerd come.
Hmm.
Let's see. Oh, this is a classic. I've seen this done by different people. Holiday from Rules. This thing the condition that this fucking thing is, listeners, is atrocious. Like there are, admittedly, there are some films where the only print of them looks like shit. You know, you look at the special edition of Metropolis, like the full edition. There are scenes in there that they harvested from like really bad copies where you can tell, just it's just choppy. And this, it really is. And apart from that, it's just kind of eerie. There's no sound, there's no music, there's no background.
They're just kind of in this void.
They're kind of in a void of darkness. If I may say so, the kids don't look taken care of, if that makes sense. Like they look like they spent a day out or something. Like I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like
It kind of makes the whole joke at the end, the whole Lord and Ladies of the Fly, just really hit home.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel that no, these kids do not look like they have not been managed for a whole day for some reason. I completely agree with that. And yeah, this short just has a bit of an eeriness to it. There's no adults, there's no nothing.
It's
And yeah, they're
Brecht.
just playing. Huh?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They're playing these games, but there's no one around, and apart from just a narrator saying no rules. And I don't know. There's just something uncanny about it. You know,
It's
it's
kind of
definitely black box theater.
it's Brechtian. It's very Brechtian. And yeah, it seems almost like an episode of the Twilight Zone. Like I know that might be giving it a little bit too much credit, but it does seem to have that kind of claustrophobia and solitude to it.
It's kind of weird because all these kids are here together, but there's nothing else. And then I actually kind of like the environment they're in because it adds to the surreal thing where they're standing up among like little cardboard trees and bushes, and you see these little fake minimalist waves just come out, these little white lines
I really hope
as they
that
go by the
gerbil
seaside.
really hope that gerbil was treated well.
I
There's a
like the Richard Gere joke that I got.
yeah, so you're always gonna have one. And
Always.
they progressively get filthier and more torn up.
Mm-hmm.
Like this kid like breaks a fucking bone. They have to Doc Savage up his shirt. Like they just unnaturally have filth on them.
Mm-hmm. They're just in the filthiest. You know, I feel this had to be inspired by Lord of the Flies in some way.
Mhm.
They've got the island, they've got the conch shells, just breaking them apart.
Look at her
The
fucking
only th
hands, for God's sakes.
the only thing they don't have is a fat kid who says Asmar.
And the kids, of course, start bitching that there's no rules on this island. Realize not having rules kind of eats, so they want rules, and they go back to a place with
They
rules. It's an incredibly abrupt. It's incredibly abrupt, to be quite honest.
It definitely sounds like a graduate theory where, you know, everyone's maintained in their own prisons and prisons within prisons and prisons within prisons to the point where you're trapped like Mr. Miracle in the depths of apocalypse. But yeah, as they concede to conform, I don't know. I think that's always an interesting premise to see what a world without rules looks like, and I'd like to see one, you know, obviously we're not going to get in the shorts, you know, that really does promote like, hey, this group conscientiousness and popular beliefs. But it would be interesting to see one. Let's play it out. Let's play out this world without rules. Beyond, oh, let's go back and recreate what we already knew.
we have this little affair, which, what is even the
Okay.
name of this?
This is the last short, just it's a
Safety
safety
after
after
school.
school.
Your
My
standard.
goodness.
Okay, first off, we have some cameos in the opening. We have Waldo and Mr. Bill,
Mm-hmm.
and it's your standard vehicle safety, not vehicle safety, but like getting home safety short. We've seen
Yeah.
plenty of these.
I'm going to be
Um,
honest though. This one's impressive because it feels like it's like 50. If you've seen these shorts, these kind of shorts, you know exactly the rhythms they follow. And it burns through like at least 50 safety lessons, basically.
yeah,
You
it's
trip over a
economical.
bike. Yeah. This is like the speed running of all these, it brings up every obstacle, stranger danger, minding the traffic, making sure you're going at safe speeds, making sure you're not playing in construction zones and shaking hands with danger.
Yeah, what kind of prick leaves out their bike like that, by the way? And of course, we have the stranger danger moment. We have a quite suspicious looking man.
And he drives off, which makes it even more suspicious. So it's clear that this was not a safe man, and this PSA could have gone a very different route.
Very, very different round.
Like,
I always,
honest, yeah, yeah,
you go ahead.
yeah. Again, it just seems to burn through all these plots that would be their own shorts on their own.
Hmm. Yeah, especially the stranger danger. We've seen scores of those that are quite horrifying. You have a very June Lockhart type mom who
Just
is,
appears to give the boys permission and look after their wounds.
yeah,
I do like that they did just say, "Hey, tell your parent, and your parent can at least make it better." And Trace has to crap on it and say we're gonna have to amputate.
hmm, yeah. Your mom can always help you when you got a boo boo. Moms
And
are
then the
awesome.
neighbor's new dog, Cujo, appears
Yeah,
on screen when they're walking by to meet up with a friend.
but yeah. As you said, for God's sakes, they have this fucking Cormac McCarthy the road ass
Little
situation here.
dilapidation building
Yeah,
here.
what the fuck is going? Is this Mad Max? Who? What? Look at this shit.
I don't know. It feels like a Spanish Dadaist vision. I feel you'd appreciate that reference.
I do actually. It really. I mean, me and my brothers got up to some shit when we were kids. Nothing was ever this sus, you know?
Can I just say that these kids seem like the most blank slate children we've seen in one of these in a while?
It honestly seems like they're the same guy but different colored. Like you're in a video game.
And you chose the same character, just now you have to wear the different colors as you fight to the death.
Yeah.
But they seem like such blank slates, and it makes you, not to harp on the actors because they're going on based on the direction. But they just seem like such blank slates that everything's meant to hit them, and yet nothing actually resonates in any way. Like they tell you how to get off a swing, they tell you how to manage all these situations.
There's
And yeah,
this.
it feels like the same thing could have been done by like a crash test dummy or something.
Mhm. There's this bit where he finds the broken glass, and his thing is, dispose of the broken glass safely so that no one hurts themselves. And I'm like, dude, when I was a kid, it's like you see broken glass, you get a fucking adult.
Hmm.
I think that's one thing that might date the short a bit. is that
Yeah.
yeah,
On the one hand,
and
I like the fact that they told the kids to take their own initiative. And I feel that's one way the short does work. It shows kids taking initiative, but then you can take that too far. And I like my kids to have whole hands and not, be lacerated by several shards of glass.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. So
And it's the shorts.
yeah, it's a shorts. Do you have any final thought? I think it's a great like if- keep them coming with the night of shorts. I'm never not uh satisfied with those.
And
So
these days, they're the main one I go to. If I'm gonna sit down and watch the Mads, which I frankly should do more often, it's gonna be the Night of Shorts. That's the one I always make a point to go see. Um, with the this Night of Short, it's interesting because I feel sometimes the Night of Shorts are a balancing act between very weak material and very strong riffing. But
mhm.
here, I don't think any of the material was really, really weak in any way. There was certainly longer material, but I didn't feel like there was anyone that was boring or anything like that. So I think Frank and Trace really just had these great shorts. And one thing I just want to close off on is that I noticed this in this riff more than any other that Frank and Trace had the same setup on jokes, and yet they
Mhm.
gave like two different answers. Trace giving a little more of that family friendly, cuddly response, and Frank just giving a biting version of it, and
Yeah.
then they just do in succession. So I don't know. That felt a little more improvised, and I know they go off of scripts, but it felt a little more improv-y, and I
Mhm.
really appreciated them just giving their take on whatever setup was there. So that was just something small I noticed, but something I was happy to see.
Yeah. So I think that about does it for this episode. Is Plotting Rifftrax. This has been the Mads and Night of Shorts 15, and we have been hanging out,
Hanging out,
hanging out,
hanging out,
hanging
hanging
out
out
on
with
an
the holidays,
island, uh, in a void of darkness, hanging out,
hanging out,
hanging out,
hanging out,
picking
hanging out
up
with Kid
some
Dog
planks.
Samson. Got some, uh, got a prim, I don't know, prim and proper nanny.